Global happenings today. We communicate. We analyze global news.
Hello beautiful people, welcome back to our channel. Quite a lot is going on in Rivers State. Just a few hours ago it became public knowledge that there's a lot of moves being made to reinstate the 27 lawmakers that defected in Rivers State from PDP to APC, and now they are claiming they are back in PDP, and that they've decided to send a message this time around. Rivers Indigenous have decided to send a message directly to the presidency, because this time around there seem to be no jokes accepted anymore. Well, before we go to the newspaper to find out exactly the latest going on in River State right now, like and subscribe to our channel. Let's hit the ground running. My colleague is in the house. Now, a newly formed militia group in Niger Delta, known as the Niger Delta Development Force, as NDDF acronym, has threatened to blow up all installations in the region if President Bola Tinubu does not intervene and stop the interference of the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Wike, in the administration of River State of Governor Sinalai Fubara. Now, NDDF said that they are particularly piqued over the plot by Wike to use a friendly judge to rule in his favor, stopping local government allocations to the state on Monday. Now, Justice Joyce Abdul Malik of the Federal High Court of Abuja had recently dismissed a request by the River State government seeking to stay precedents in a suit seeking to stop the allocation of funds to all the local government areas of River State. Now, the judge held that the request argued by the River State government through their counsel, Gode Uche, was frivolous, vexatious, and unwarranted and mischievous. Now, but the spokesman or spokesperson of the group, that's Justin Alabraba, said in a statement that the group will waste no time at all in shutting down all installations should any judge in Abuja make any pronouncement that would render local governments in River State financially incapacitated to carry out their business of rendering governance to the people at the local level. We will waste no time. It will be, I'm quoting them word for word now. It said, we will waste no time. It will be a swift response. We will shut down major oil installations in the Niger Delta. If President Bola Tinubu would allow Wike ground governance at the local government in River State, we will also ground governance at all levels. We cannot be suffering while other parts of Nigeria are enjoying. Wike should leave Fubara alone. The group said that they have watched for several months. I take that again. The group said that they have watched for several months now how Wike has used his position as a minister and a member of Tinubu's cabinet to undermine the activities of Governor Fubara, warning that they would no longer fold their arms and watch Wike destroy their state. For months now, I quoted them, for months now, Wike has continued to insult and intimidate Governor Fubara using his federal might. We won't tolerate that anymore. Any move against Fubara by Wike would now be met with destruction of oil installations. Since Tinubu would want to continue to play the ostrich, let us all go mad then. River State does not belong to Wike, and he cannot finish 7-8 years without intimidation or harassment from those who helped him get there and now wants to disturb his successor. The group warned that there will be no going back when judgment is given against River State, insisting we will bomb and continue to destroy all installations. That is not a threat. This is a promise. This is what we will do. Enough is enough. Wike and Tinubu cannot take us for a ride anymore. This is signed by Justin Alabraba, global spokesman. It has happened. This is one of the worst fears of most Nigerians, especially those who have been following this issue of River State's crisis. My colleague is in the house. What's your take on the fact that this new group, this is some of those things we're talking about during the time and reign of the former president, late Yaradua. What's your take on this latest development?
All right, and then it was expected. It was expected, considering the fact that we're looking at the local government level or area, local government area. These are the main grassroots. And imagine you writing and seizing their own funding. And nobody can tell exactly how long it's going to be, because if you start now to seize their funding, it therefore means that they're going to stay the next how many months, because in as much as the case is in court, it therefore means that nothing will go on. But a big question I love to throw to these guys, what do they call them?
The judges.
The judges. Apart from that, INEC, apart from that, the Supreme Court. Now, these people who have stepped up to make that strong demand that they should halt all local government
money
fundings
to rivers.
Who are they? Because by law, they are illegitimate lawmakers. They are ex-lawmakers. Because with this, it clearly shows that the court recognizes them as the legitimate lawmakers. If they can put up a barricade or stop the CBN from funding the local government, it therefore means they have been accepted. So, which means whatever is going to play out in the Supreme Court is just something that has already been decided. Because if at this point, when the case is in before Supreme Court about their position as lawmakers, they are still pushing for other issues, and it is being respected by the court. Not considering the fact that their own issue has not been settled totally. It therefore means that Supreme Court has already seen them that they are lawmakers. That's exactly, and that's why someone was talking about the jurisprudence. That's the science of the philosophy of law in Nigeria has been shattered a great deal because it's not working in consonance with the Constitution. But however, this issue for me should be handled with all amount of delicacy, because like this, before we know, it would throw the country into flames. And guess what? As we are talking right now, the Kano State government has issued, or let me say, the Kano State Electoral Commission has already issued the certificate of return to the local government chairman.
So they're waiting for the funds.
So right now, whoever that is behind all this Boaha has Kano State to battle with, has also Rivers State to battle. And I can assure you that none of those states will conduct local government elections again. None of them will conduct. And that will bring about, don't forget that most of the revenues that is made in Kano State and the likes is in those local governments. So it means we are shutting down on everything. We are not remitting anything to. So before you know, that thing that we have been hearing of, that the federal government will just have small from the state, but the state will manage its resources, may happen. Because if you do anything to stop funding for local government in Rivers State, they will stop the activities of remitting fund. That's talking about inland revenue. That's how do they call them? This FIRS, Federal Inland Revenue. They will stop the activities. That, in other words, they won't allow them to go to those no, they won't allow them to go to all those key stakeholders in oil. That's talking about the companies there. Okay. They won't allow them to go to get anything like funding. They will give instruction to those places that they shouldn't pay any money to FIRS, which will in turn be sent to the federal account. So the whole thing is going to be a case of we trap down our funds. We are not going to allow any exploration to take place. We're not going to allow anything to take place. We will be managing our funds, which means that those companies, they will be paying the funding to the state directly. And that is not going to be okay,
because that's the only money
exactly.
Export for the
exactly, because I know very well that if they succeed in this local government, the next thing they will do is state. They're going to go straight to the state. That the state also, they should shut down revenue in the state. So the situation is going to be very terrible, and it may call for anarchy. I know that whoever that is, whether it is Wike or whoever that is remote controlling all these things, this is what he's really, really looking for, so that they can declare state of emergency, in the state and all of that. But it's not really going to end. And come on, every of the bad name that will come in will not go to anybody but to the president. So the president should look into this case and see how he can put everything under control. Though I have heard, though this one is just like grapevine, that the local governments have already gotten their fundings for this month. So however, they have to use that one to start doing things the way. But we still believe that this thing can be put under control. Wike is not the owner of Rivers State. This thing is so I don't know why the government is just selling out these things out like in the name of judiciary and all. And judiciary should know as at this point that their integrity is in the balance. And just like someone said yesterday, a legal luminary said yesterday, that the Attorney General of the Federation is charged with the responsibility of regulating this kind of thing, and he's keeping his mind. He's been so silent. He has not said anything. before we know, what we are going to experience in this country might be unthinkable. I think he should wake up to his responsibility and see how he can stop this issue and ensure that the issue of jurisprudence is looked into more and more. Apart from that, he should also look at the issue of jurisdiction, because I think all of these boil down to jurisdiction. How can the federal be coming to interfere in cases that has to do with the state? If we have the federal ministers, and if they begin to come to play games at the state level, that's, for example, federal ministry or minister of finance decide to come and control finances in, someone state. It doesn't make any sense, because commissioners are there to do that job. So these are some of the things. That issue of jurisdiction should be handled speedily so that all of these things can be put to a final stop.
All right, that's going to wrap it up. I just hope that we don't go back to the gloomy days of the late Yaradua, where he had to, come and intervene over the issue of militancy in Niger Delta region. It wasn't fun, I must say. That was what brought in the issue of Niger Delta militants funds, to help cushion the effects, and there was peace. I won't want to return back to those gloomy days. Nigeria really lost a lot in that process. Let's hope that the governor and the president in particular will rise to the occasion and stop this before it gets